Hi guys, Scott here from TEPIS Paranormal and welcome back to another video. So what I want to do today is watch a video with you that I recently stumbled across on my YouTube recommended. Now this video is from the travel channel, specifically from Ghost Adventures, and is some of the eeriest voices that they've captured this season. So what I want to do now is go through this video, watch it with you, give my thoughts on the different EVPs that they capture throughout this season, and just let you know what I think of them. If you have any thoughts on the voices and activity captured in this video, let me know in the comments down below, but without further ado, let's jump straight into the video and see what we think of some of these eerie voices captured by the Ghost Adventures crew. So here we have the compilation, and we're going to jump straight in, watch the video and talk about each thing as it takes place.
As we start setting up our X cameras and nerve center in the back of the property, we incredibly hear a man's cough come from upstairs.
Yeah. Oh, that was a cough. Oh.
We immediately head upstairs to investigate the unexplained man's cough we just captured on the X camera.
Okay, so that was clearly a man's cough. I agree with them. If they obviously had no crew members up there at the time, that is a weird thing to catch. There's no obviously explainable cause for it other than there being a person upstairs.
Camera.
Oh, I just got pricklies on my arm.
Yeah, dude, I just was nothing too.
Did you just see one?
Whoa! Whoa! What was that, dude? What the was that? Oh god, dude, my chest hurts so bad.
Did you guys hear something?
Yeah.
That was a noise.
There was a loud man's voice or something.
Like right in our ears.
Aaron freaks out from hearing a raspy voice on the stairs. My chest mount shadow cam rig also contains 7 directional microphones and was able to capture what we heard.
Fantastic.
Oh, I just got pricklies on my arm.
Yeah, dude, I was nothing too.
Did you just see one?
Too.
Did you just see one?
Whoa! Whoa! What was that, dude? What
That
the
sounds like the same.
We immediately hold an EVP session.
That sounds like the same noise to me, or a very similar noise and a very similar vocal tone, which obviously, given that they claim there was nobody there with them, would be odd and would be unexplained.
Amplified by Vivian's connection to the space.
What are we feeling? You know that we're feeling you.
I'm not sure who Vivian is.
Vivian saw 2 men in this room. There was another woman that lived here that also saw 2 men.
Now, I've seen a lot of the latest seasons of Ghost Adventures, but I've not seen every episode. So I don't actually know where this place is or what, anything about the history of this location. So without context, some of the voices that come through may be a little bit disorienting or may not make much sense to me.
If there are 2 men in here and you claim this room as yours, why are you in here and who are you?
What are we feeling? You know that we're feeling you.
Play that again.
What are we feeling? You know that we're feeling you.
There's male tone in that. Listen.
Okay.
And there's vocal tone.
Yeah. 2 men in this room. If there are 2 men in here and you claim this room as yours, why are you in here and who are you?
What the dude?
So there is a voice or some sort of tone in there. Sounds like a very gruff, very deep, raspy voice trying to say something, trying to make some sort of communication. It's a weird noise. Again, can't make out any sort of words. I feel like this is one of the criticisms I have of Ghost Adventures specifically, is that for a lot of their audio recordings, the playback is always played directly into their microphone attached to them. They never take the actual audio file off of the digital recorder and then, enhance it through a computer, which always makes me slightly skeptical because I feel like that's a very easy thing to do that even cheap digital voice recorders can do. So when they don't do it in shows like this, it always makes me that little bit more skeptical, because it makes me feel like if we heard it clearly and not played through speakers on a small recorder into a microphone, that we may be able to make out something that they don't necessarily want us to hear. But again, if that's not the case, then I think that's an odd vocal tone that they captured with very little in the way of explanation.
I'm the ringleader.
If there are 2 men in here and you claim this room as yours, why are you in here and who are you?
I mean, maybe. I hear a vocal tone to that sort of structure of a sentence, but I can't make out clear words, so it could actually be saying anything. Let me know what you think that says in the comments down below, but I'm not 100% convinced it's saying that I'm the ringleader.
I grant their wishes and suit up with a highly sensitive boom microphone to see if I can
Okay, so this is one of the episodes I have seen before.
capture any audio live. Aaron, Billy, and Jay will stay downstairs in the bar area. What?
I'm hearing ladies talking.
All of a sudden, I hear distinct
So, because of the way a parabolic microphone like this works, it's directional. And he is pointing it out a window that I think he may go on to show in a second. So, to me, these voices could just be somebody next door or somebody further down in the neighbourhood. I don't believe that they're coming from this room. They sound very distant. They don't sound like they're near the microphone, which makes me very sceptical of them being paranormal in nature. I think this could be external stimuli that he's captured, and I do not think they're paranormal.
ladies' voices inside of this room.
So I believe Zach now goes and checks out the window and shows an empty alleyway. There could have been somebody in the alleyway previously before he checked who's moved. There could be somebody in the building next door that this parabolic, high quality microphone is picking up.
So I immediately look out this window to see if there's anyone below.
Just showing you out this window. There is nobody at all.
I feel like the obvious explanation there is they're just in the building next door and it's being amplified by the parabolic microphone. On to number 4.
Oh my god, dude. What the Where's it coming from?
Sir, can you
Some
talk
weird
to us?
noises.
Did you hear a laugh? Dude! Oh my...
We both hear and capture an audible laugh.
Sir, can you talk to us?
I mean, yeah, that's clearly a laugh. That's horrible if there isn't a clear and obvious explanation for it. If there isn't someone stood there near Zach, then that is really freaky.
Did you hear a laugh? Dude!
That could be a member of the crew. I'm not saying it is. To me, it sounds like it could be someone in another room laughing, but again, given what we know about the way they conduct their investigations, it's unlikely. But then again, there are females on their crew. In some of the episodes, they show female camera people, female sound people. So from the days of the original Ghost Adventures, where there was just the 3 locked in a building together, it's changed since then. They now have researchers, they now have sound people, other people with them, who you see briefly in some of the other episodes, and I think that somewhat takes away from the much more scientific locked down method where external stimuli was limited. Now there's a lot more potential for external stimuli, but yeah, obviously still a weird laugh. If it wasn't a member of the crew, then I think that's very strange. And generally, I think it's a weird thing that if I heard while investigating a location, I would definitely freak out.
What was that? Listen.
Listen to this older female voice saying one question.
I mean, yeah, I hear it. I don't know if him potentially suggesting what he thinks it was has led to me hearing that, because I didn't hear it initially. But it does sound like it's saying one question. Yeah, I'll give them that.
I set the recorder just stagnant.
I've seen this clip. This is quite a popular clip online in a lot of ghost and paranormal forums. It's quite odd. We'll watch it now and then I'll give you my thoughts on it afterwards.
On that dresser and just kind of left it there. And I propped up a spoon up on the dresser there as well, just as a trigger object. And we left the area.
Yeah. Nobody's up there.
Yeah.
So, the spoon, I'm quite skeptical about. I feel like if it's not properly balanced, it will eventually fall. It's one of those things where it's not something that's balanced perfectly. Any small vibration, any knock, anyone closing a door nearby that causes just a very minor tremor could cause that to fall. The same with any breeze, any sort of very light gust of wind that gets through a crack in the wall or a door. I think there's a lot of things that could be other than paranormal.
After the spoon falls over, there's an EVP that we want to share with you. So go ahead and play that.
So this recorder, which was setting up there static and no one around, captured a voice. So I'm going to let it play back here from the silence, and it will roll into the voice, and you'll hear.
Okay.
All right?
Sounded like another female.
I agree. I agree.
I do too. Ready?
Yeah.
I can't work out any sort of words there, but there is distinct vocal tone. To me, it sounds like it might be saying something along the lines of kill. I feel like that's a word that I hear in that, but again, I'm not sure. It's not clear enough to make out precise words. If you hear anything in that, let me know now before I press play and they suggest what they hear, because I'm sure they're about to. But let me know what you hear now, and then we'll see how that compares to what they hear.
It sounds like a female with vocal tone.
It's so creepy.
It's so weird.
It is.
Is
she
almost
saying
repetitive.
the same word, like something about my life, or something about my life?
There is a female voice imprinted on an audio recording on a standard digital recorder in an empty room.
As I understand it, they also don't use standard digital recorders. Theirs are quite expensive, much better quality than the ones that, say, I use, which is nowhere near the quality of audio recording or the quality of recording in general that they managed to get. But at the same time, if there's no clear cause for that voice in that room, if there's nobody nearby, then it's an unexplained voice. It's a EVP, it's an electronic voice phenomenon. I don't know what the cause is, and it is quite creepy. If I captured that in a room that I knew was sealed, that I knew there was nobody in, that would freak me out. It would be very good evidence, but again, I don't know the validity of it because I wasn't there. It's one of those things that watching other people's evidence is not quite the same as capturing it yourself. I'm a lot more skeptical of other people's evidence, but obviously when you have an experience or an encounter firsthand, then you're obviously a lot more inclined to believe it.
This is the kind of stuff that we look for.
We've come to see you, find out why you're so angry. How did you get here in this house? Stay in there, Aaron. Go back in there.
Aaron's shadow did make me jump slightly then, because I didn't know he was there.
You come in here.
Go back in there.
You come in here and feel what
I'm staying here for a second.
Just say I
doing
did.
a session. I know. Go back in there.
I'm not going back in there.
Go back in there, Aaron.
No, you come.
See, there's a lot of in Ghost Adventures these days, since Nick left and the more recent later seasons. Zach is very demanding, which he's always been, but Aaron argues a lot more now. It used to be Zach would just lock Aaron in rooms, shut the door, bolt the door, that sort of thing, try and induce fear upon Aaron. Whereas now Aaron's a lot more experienced, he tends to argue back a lot more, it's a good development. It makes for a more interesting investigation.
With me then.
I'm moving in towards Aaron. I want you to do something to that guy in there.
What was that?
As I demand Aaron to go back into the back bedroom, he collapses on the bed. As I review the recorder, we capture a very creepy, dark voice.
What the dude? Let me hear that up close.
That's legit. Listen.
That's weird.
That's yeah. That's good. I'll listen to it again. That's good.
There is a dark, raspy tone there. It has vocal structure. It sounds like a sentence or a string of words being said. I'm intrigued by the fact that Zach said that's legit, but I guess he could just be saying that as in, you know, there's something there, as opposed to this isn't fake, which is what my brain initially jumped to. But yeah, I mean, again, from the video, there was no obvious cause for that. So it's a strange phenomenon. I can't make out words, but it's weird. They capture a lot of EVPs on Ghost Adventures, and it's one of those things where I don't know how I feel about it. I don't know how believable I find it, but obviously all evidence is good evidence. Nothing I've seen on Ghost Adventures has been overly compelling through the years. There have been a few bits that have made me go, if that's real, if that's legit, then that's, you know, really bad, or it's really really good, I guess, but really, you know, horrible. But yeah, so obviously this is another case of, if that's legit, then it's weird evidence.
Billy is armed with a boom microphone. It's a highly sensitive microphone that's directional, and he has it aimed like a gun. And he has some noise-canceling headphones on, so the only thing he hears is where this is being aimed at. Whoa! Billy! What? What the was that? Did you hear a growl? Yeah, something just came up on me right here.
Billy captures this creepy growl-type sound that we also hear with our own ears.
See, that sounds more like something being dragged to me than a growl, but I'm not quite sure. Again, it would be weird if I heard it myself.
Billy! What? What the was that? Did you hear a growl? Yeah, something just came up on me right here.
Can you pick up your energy and manifest yourself, use our energy and just move something like we've seen you do? Well, listen. Whoa!
What was that?
I just heard a woman say your name. And that was like after you shut that off and you were walking, I heard it go, Zach. You didn't hear that?
I heard a high-pitched noise.
I swear to God, I just heard a woman say
I heard the noise.
I heard something like that.
I heard it clear as day, dude.
We do indeed capture on audio what sounds like a disembodied female voice saying my name.
I mean, if someone was moving, that could just be a squeaky floorboard. I'm not convinced that that's the most groundbreaking or compelling evidence.
Whoa! I just heard someone go, oh.
Zach was actually just getting down into a seat at the time, so I'm reasonably confident that I think that was a squeaky floorboard or maybe a squeaky chair. I didn't hear any sort of vocal tone to it. It didn't sound like it was saying a name to me. It was just a strange noise.
A woman say your name.
What I'm gonna do right now, I'm gonna ask you a series of questions. Do you understand that? Oh, I feel really weird right now.
This happens to Zach a lot.
Can you do something in this room right now? I know your name's not George. I know your real name. They told me. But for reasons of anonymity...
So now their EMF detector has just turned off.
Whoa. Whoa, the EMF detector just shut off.
Now, theoretically, if that drained all the energy from that, we would probably hear the energy, some sort of crackling or maybe an arcing. If it drew the energy to project its voice to make its presence known, we'll hear that on the recording.
What was that?
Yeah, what was that?
There's nobody talking but me.
You won't get through.
You won't get through.
What was that?
Yeah, okay, I hear that voice. I hear that saying what they claim it's saying, so that is a very strange voice. It's a very strange recording. There's no obvious cause for it, and that one is weird.
Who is
That's
that?
none of us. That's none of us.
This unexplained and ominous voice is incredible.
So that was 10 eerie voices captured on Ghost Adventures this season. Let me know what you think of the voices in the comments down below. I thought some of them were quite interesting, none of them were overly compelling. Again, the believability of Ghost Adventures, I'm not quite sure if I buy it, but I do think it was weird. So yeah, let me know what you thought in the comments down below. Let me know if there's anything you'd like me to check out in future videos. And for now, I've been Scott from TEPIS Paranormal, and I'll see you soon.